Okay, there we go. Working? Good. Good, excellent. Nice to see you. Mate and Luke and Woof and Robin and the Shroom Life and Mr. Lopez and Undertale, good to see you. Yoshiv, Bagura, Q, excellent. Lots of wonderful folk. And it has been far too long. But one of the reasons it has been so long is probably, you can slightly tell, I am in a different location. I have moved house. So I am now in a different flat. And that means there was, there's still stuff going on. In fact, you can see the my bed is currently in a box behind me, and my bedroom is going to be painted. It's happening today. So like stuff is moving, but this isn't moving again. This is just, I guess I moved from the flat I lived in probably lived there about a year and a half. I'm still in Edinburgh, just around the corner from where I was before. Hugo, good to see you. Yes, still in Edinburgh. So if you're going to come up and visit, just let me know. Mehmet, good to see you. Cool thing, Nitro Ping, Mehmet just released. If you want to check this out, it looks cool. I haven't created an account yet, but looks nice. Saw that note. It was sort of released. Was it today or yesterday, maybe? Cool. So what are we looking at? There's so much to do, basically. There's far too much to do. I'm going to start by just triaging issues, and we'll figure out what we want to do and dive in, basically. So I'm going to do what I often do is grab my pending triage without so like they haven't been marked as needing a reproduction, and some of these are pretty straightforward. So this one, okay, let's see. This one says, don't think it needs a reproduction. I think it does need a reproduction. Can't be sure without a reproduction, but I think this is about TypeScript knowing that those directories should have your next config. William, nice to see you. Need to configure this manually. Cool. Okay, so we've got that. Interesting. That's worth checking. Feature request. This one is probably okay. Let's see. This is just a Not sure why there is a separate. I saw your comment on that. Why is this a separate? Anyway, I think that should probably be the same thing. So as in, I think it should stay. Let's track this in for now. Okay. This one is not really a triage. This just needs a discussion. Okay, this one, let's see if we can check this out. So this says that we, yeah, no, I know Alex raised it with me before he created the video. Okay, you're installing this module. Interesting. Okay, this seems like something we could easily check out. The next module, add server imports to. Interesting. That's a weird one. Cool. Okay. Always nice to find. So I'll keep that in a little thing. Let's see if we can find any more. Layer alias is not resolving when it is installed as a dependency. Okay, let's see about this one. This is by design. Auto imports are only available in your Nuxt app for Nitro server contexts, and which is one of the main benefits of more precise types. Of the TypeScript project reference based context. Why are you locating your source files outside your source? I'm starting off by doing a little bit of triage to see if we can solve some people's issues, and then we'll probably do a little bit of work. Okay, the CodeMod. So CodeMod is another company. Is it codemod.com? And they have their own GitHub repo, and you should report issues there. I think there's even a npx CodeMod feedback thing. So if you get a and it pulls you up here, so this is where you want to report any issues if something is broken. There we go. So have you the person to ask for is Baptiste. He maintains this module. Mate, yeah, you can use override certain files when using layers, configs, or but configuration, like if we're talking about Nuxt or module configuration, doesn't have auto imports. It doesn't benefit from them. So you shouldn't be importing from hash imports in that context. I think in any layer, auto imports will work fine. Custom configuration files. Give me an example. I would love to, like, what is the structure? Basically, I think for a lot of these edge cases, what we need to do is give people the ability easily to add a directory to a given context. Like, that's the real solution, rather than saying that the context should apply, or auto imports should apply everywhere in your project, because they really shouldn't. They shouldn't be, for example, available in your Nuxt config file. That was a thing that they were available in your Nuxt config file for a long time, and that it's obviously not right. But But I think if we basically just gave an easier way for people to think, oh, I want this directory to be in the shared context or whatever. Yeah, I saw this, but I also I don't think this is right. Basically, runtime configuration that is not should live in your app directory. So view form config should not be in the root. It should be in app. This is an important distinction because we want to help users understand the difference between build time and runtime code. So as far as I can tell, things are working correctly here. We don't want auto imports to appear to work in arbitrary TypeScript files outside of Okay, let's get back. Here's a bug that we can clearly look at. It seems, look at fixing. So there's something like this, and this fails. And first, I want to see why maybe it fails. So let's open Nuxt. And what is going on? Let's get rid of all of that. Let's open Nuxt. What have I got in my recent? And let's see, what does add server imports do? And why might this cause a problem? We have kit nitro, and it's probably in here. Okay, so we have server auto imports dir, and Nuxt hook nitro config. There's no reason why this should be a problem, unless somehow the context is lost. Okay, let's try this. Why does this not work? Okay, let's try this. And I guess mark it as needs reproduction. Okay. Let's try something else. Layer alias is not resolving when it is installed as a dependent. It's always so difficult to reproduce issues that involve two repositories. This, by the way, error message is coming from Vue. Vue is not able to, like the compiler SFC is not able to resolve something. Which makes me wonder whether it maybe is an issue let's try this. Let's try actually reproducing this more simply. So if we have a I wonder. Okay, I think I know what it is. I think the issue is that you have a tsconfig.json in your layer, which if you compile that SFC is trying to read to resolve the layers bugged layer alias. But this file does points to non-existent tsconfigs, and so the alias does not work. Probably a limitation of the way that handles resolving aliases. Do we let's try this one. Okay, we're getting our error. We need to have a tsconfig. Which should be here. Nope. Let's try that one more time. Okay, so if we zip into this file, the TypeScript is looking for this tsconfig. Now, what if I delete it? I'd want to see if we drop, because this tsconfig is absolutely not going to work. So let's just remove it. Oh, it's come back. I guess it's come back because Nuxt has freshly cloned it somehow. Well, let's just first, I guess, confirm that if we did delete it, that the import would work. So now it's saying there is no tsconfig that covers this. Interesting. So why is that? So we want to just check our app.json here, and it should have an include section. And it's including all of these layers. And it's also including this particular layer and the app, but it's not including this file according to Vue.tsc. That's because we're excluding node modules. Now, if I don't exclude node modules. Then does it come back? Yes, this is, I think this is view TSC itself does that. Okay, so this should now be, why is it not being included in here? Oh, because it's not explicitly being included at any point, but we can do that. So we can actually add this in include. Oh no, it is being included, right? So it's 4 matches. So this should be pulling it in. Maybe there's no bugged layer. No, that does match. Let's try this in some other part of the project. If we have like an app test and we import that, does it work? No. Interesting. Okay, so that's so we have layers bugged layer. Why would that not be resolving? Because we do specifically have this listed as a path. Why can't we import from that? It exists. Let me just restart the Vue and TS servers. Yeah, now it's working. So if we have our apps components, what was it importing from? Okay, so now it's fine actually. Yeah, so it was just a temporary glitch. Okay, so now we have, that's importing properly. This is actually probably importing properly too. And the change we made was we added it, we didn't add it to the include, but we removed the underscore node modules from exclude, and we deleted the TS config file. So like the exclude, the node modules rather. So let's see if we can reproduce the fix. So we're going to add a hook. We're going to add a prepare types hook. And then what we're going to do is modify the TS config, in exclude. Modules. Okay, this is a very cheap and cheerful way of doing it. Let's see if that works. First, I want to see if it in fact has removed the node modules. It seems to have done that. Let's see if we can now build the project. We haven't. We can't build the project. Let's see. Probably because of that TS config file that's still there. So, because if I'm now in this file, we are pulling in, oh no, now we're pulling in the Nuxt app config. Cool. Is that really wrong? Let's restart the entire VS Code. Well, I guess I have an update. Okay. What is it saying now? Okay, yeah, this is pulling in the wrong config file. Well, that, like, I mean, not a problem, but Let's just pull that in and let's see if we can reproduce the fix with removing that one. So we'll do await or just remove sync. Let's try that. Okay, so so it's worth saying that we probably should not include node modules from our exclude because we have things in them. Unless somehow we can have a negative, like we exclude non-view files or something like that. But I think we just need to not exclude node modules. And the second is you shouldn't ship TS configs in your layers. Okay, we'll explain that. Right, there are two issues here. One, you have a tsconfig.json. You should likely not ship this in your layer, as this is required for view compiler SFC, or you should not use TypeScript interfaces for defining your props, as this is required for view compiler TFC. Two, we were excluding node modules from TS projects entirely, and this meant layers weren't being included in your project at all. We can fix this, but it won't fully resolve your issue unless you also fix the point above. Great. Hey Fishy, good to see you. Martins, nice to see you too. Right, so these are the two pieces of it, and we can fix that one easily enough, I think. So we even probably have it listed in here. Node modules folders. We're adding the node modules folder to our I think we can only exclude it from here. Because I mean, what happens if we don't exclude it? Let's switch to here and just run a type check. Yeah, someone should define the regular squad. That would be cool. Okay, so that's fine. So it's not a problem to remove it. Because we're being very specific about the project. I think maybe that's worth saying. So we can exclude these directories if they are within the source directory. Right? So in fact, we can be very specific about that. So because that's the only case in which they'll be included by default. Nice to see you, Enrique. Cool. So if next options, if not starts with next options source directory, then we'll add the excludes. Ta-da! Cool. That seems totally reasonable. So we're going to add this. We'll create fix node types, and we'll say fix kit only exclude node modules folders if they are within. Oh, and we actually probably need to do it trailing slash trailing slash and layers, annoyingly. So we need to say, oh, this is actually a little bit more complicated to be safe. So we want to say something like source directories equals next options layers map layer with trailing slash layer dot config dot source or layer cwd, and then we want to say if not source does some there we go. That just ensures that it's not being pulled in by any of the layer source directories. That seems reasonable. Todd, nice to see you. Okay, so let's just save this. So say fix kit only exclude node modules from TS if we don't have custom source type. Actually, it's a little bit more complex, right? Because no, I think this is fine, right? Because layers should not actually be inside the node excludes a little bit different. I think we always want that because that's about the root. I think actually this is more correct. Oh, I am afraid I have sad news for you, Fishy. She died. Yeah. It is really sad. Yeah, it was very sad. It was very sad. She was not feeling well for a long time, kidney disease, and she actually had heart disease as well. But we'd been away, and she'd been staying with my parents. So found her when I got back that she was a little bit. She's not well, so brought her back to Edinburgh and was going to take her to the vet the next day because she really did not seem well. And she slept with me in the bed, but was not her normal self. Normally she purrs and cuddles up. And in the middle of the night, she started having trouble breathing. And I got a taxi and took her to the emergency vets, and they basically said that she was, in the worst possible condition that she could be. So she died, and I brought her back and buried her alongside my dog. Yes, that is true. And actually, at the moment they injected her, she put her head into my hand, as she often did. Hello, Flo. She, yeah, I think she was. Let's try this. Oh, I'm glad, Flo. Always glad to find an issue I can close because it's not a bug. This is a weird one. SSR no external. Okay. See if I can reproduce this in the Nuxt repo. So we have a Nuxt config. I'll drop that in and see if we can playground. This is a weird one when people have bugs that are related to custom. This is people shouldn't be doing this, but like this is not a Nux bug. This is somebody is adding some configuration, which was a previous workaround for an issue that Rollup had before. This is probably nothing to do with Nux. This is probably entirely to do with the Vite upgrade. Weirdly, oh no, that's the loading. Exactly. Oh, what happened here? Ah, yes. Hey Dominic, nice to see you. I am very boringly just working through issues to triage. I could more interestingly probably have a look at some pull requests people have made and give some live feedback on them. Also, I think I have some things I can merge. I love my CLI. It's so it saves me a lot of time for sure. Those are also not anything we need to worry about. What is the change set here? It's a major bump, but it just uses node 24. Seems fine. That's just a flaky test rather than a... Rogora is a regular for sure. This is probably also safe. CLIs are so good because you can just make changes to them. It don't have to satisfy anybody else, just whatever your own needs are. Okay, so here we have this PR, which I've been tracking for a little bit. And this adds a warning if people are not using the new directory structure. And I'm honestly, we deliberately support backwards compatibility on directory structure. Like I don't particularly want to Do you know what I mean? Yes. Yeah, of course. Like, there's nothing the matter with the PR, but I just think that it might be a bad idea to show that warning, because it is a legitimate choice that people can make. Okay, here's one. Preserve page keep alive across layout changes. And there's a regression test that makes me so happy. I genuinely I am so happy. There's so many BRs that don't come with them. So this is just a delight. Okay, so this basically adds H. Oh wait, so we're adding another keep alive over the layout. I guess that's... But we have a utility wrap and keep alive, I think, in Nux. So we've got this thing. Let's see if we can, thankfully the regression test is there. Let's see if we can still benefit from that, even if we use wrap and keep alive. So yeah, Nux Tints might be a good location for it, Robin. Okay, so we have got keep alive now, which is in Nux layout. Keep alive. And what we had was utils, was it? Wrap and keep alive. Yeah. And we use it like this, and it goes above suspense. So why do we need to do that in the layout? I should go above suspense, right? Wrap and transition, then wrap and keep alive goes above suspense. Why is this going underneath it? Okay, let's see. So I have wrap and transition, and then we basically should do this here. And yes, that's our default keep alive config. And default keep alive config is here. Okay, and then we just wrap it up at the other end. So we're basically, keep alive props also need to be imported, wrap and keep alive needs to be imported from there. And then we drop this down to there, I think. And then we clean that up. So it just needs to finish that. And then this is our suspense. And wrap and keep alive needs to return and just be called like this. And then down here we have to finish one more like that, probably. Let's see if that resolves the issue in this test. No, obviously, it does not. That's weird. There's a lot of things going wrong. Okay, so this is saying we always, let me dive into the detail here. So, oh dear. A lot of things failing. So, okay. I think this is not ready for review. Let's see. Would you have a look at... Okay, I'm just going to mark hide the drafts. Right, so there's some more here. Deep merge extracted root data. I think this is fine. And Julian think it's fine as well. Okay, so we'll just go for it. Quick review and... Oh, Fishy, the CLI, I have a lot of different things in my CLI. So I it creates meeting notes for me. I can update the Nuxt starter pack. I view PRs that don't have passing PRs. I can see unreleased. This is actually very useful and I haven't used it recently. Let's see. I can see my repos that have commits that I haven't released. For example, I think that's one of the most useful ones I have. No, alas, not. And there actually is somebody else, believe it or not, someone else has very frustratingly registered that tag on GitHub. So there is actually a robot already. This person who is not doing anything, and yes, It's very frustrating. Tragic, I tell you. This is very, it looks like a good PR. You would ban him. Rowboat. Crazy. This also seems good. Bobby is on fire, which is a normal state of affairs. Okay, let's have a look at this. And this. Yeah. Okay. Robot Pro Max. Yeah, why not? Oops, not. Okay, these are ready to go. I'm just going to stick them up here. This one, probably also good. I think, what are the, it's a difficult one to review. I think it's probably very good, but I will come back to it, because it looks like a tricky one to compare one to the other. I find CodeRabbit is really good. Its reviews are they're not always good, but often they do. I've spotted bugs that I didn't know about because of something that it said. So I do think it's helpful. Okay, so let's see. Nuxkit is always intended for build time only usage, not for runtime, which means that node-env which means it's almost always better simply to add a check for Nuxt options dev rather than accessing process I also think it would be confusing for people who aren't aware that logger is always meant to be used at build dev time. The two environments situations it runs in. Okay, the environment situations it runs in are therefore prepare time, dev time, build time, and build time, and development versus production is misleading. For this reason, I think if you want to use consular in another situation, I'd suggest you create your own mapper utility. Okay. Let's see. I had a suggestion here, and said he updated it, but he's not updated it. So I'm just marking it as a draft. Hey, what's up? Yeah, it's going well. Pulling through some issues in pull requests. It feels like it's gone very slow. I don't know how other people are feeling, but I wish it was going a little bit faster. Yeah, I'm going to blame that on Mondays. That makes total sense. Okay, so what's going? I'm going to look for some confirmed. Oh, there's this middleware thing. This is a bug. It's not really a bug. It's a bad log. People think it's a bug, but it's not. It's not a bug. But it's very frustrating for people. You can see a lot of people have given this a thumbs up, and I think we can hopefully fix it. So it's something along the lines of saving changes. It's a race condition basically, and if I recall correctly, I tracked it down but never quite finished it. So I made a comment, I think. So I think it's, let me see if I can recall, something like we have app resolve. We have the whole app thing in Nuxt. It's a little bit confusing. We really should not be calling this resolve app. I don't think we export this anywhere. So I think we can probably rename them. But anyway, I'll just quickly rename it. We have this next app thing. Type, maybe? Yeah, this should be, that's the problem, that is exported. That's very confusing. Mehmet, it has been too long. Break time. You are right. It is break time. I should go and get myself a cup of tea, but sadly, I think I have no milk in the fridge. But yes, I can get myself a cup of tea. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes. So let's see. I have a little overlay server. Ha ha ha. Status break. Aha. I'm going to have a break duration 5 minutes time, and then I will be back. Okay, let's see if this works. Amazing. Okay, see you all in 5 minutes. Okay, I am back. Hey, nice to see you, Shing. And we have to figure out what's gone wrong with this thing. Goodness. There's, did it just loop over and over again? Down to... and then back up to 5. Something like that. Yeah, see, I like him, and that would be perfect. I guess I've never actually tested this thing. It goes back. It does. That's weird. Okay, right. Well, let's ignore that for now. We have a resolve app issue. Next, I think. So we create the app, and somehow we still run old hooks or something. I need to see if I can reproduce it somehow. So yeah, that might be a helpful thing to try. Yeah, let's try that. Something to do with restarts and right. So we have this warning, middleware already exists, and it's called by this app resolve hook. And so our app resolve hook is here. We have our app resolve, and the thing is that this app is, I think, persistent. Can we resolve it? And we generate the app. And we create the app. Samir, hello. Ways, yeah, give View a try. All of your options are going to be good, so you don't put too much stress on your choice. But yeah, I would definitely suggest View. I certainly enjoy it myself. Okay, I think it's all about this debounce here, but let's see if we can reproduce it. So I'm going to try and write a test that's going to reproduce the issue. And I'm going to I will just first try and reproduce the issue. So someone suggested creating a new post in the content directory. A lot of people have mentioned Nuxt content. Index.view pages. Okay, let's try it. But I think it is a race condition, and I think therefore it's going to be affected by the speed of your computer, which is makes this difficult. Okay, let's go for next config. We're opening our playground. I'm going to run our dev server. Cool. So here's our playground, and we need to have pages directory, because that's where we get a middleware, and then we need to have a index.view. So let's just try to trigger some kind of change. I wonder if I can trigger it by extending the okay, it's 25 milliseconds. Let's make it longer. I wonder if that will make it more likely to trigger. People have mentioned Nuxt content. But this was resolved after that. It might just be this build a generate app hook. Okay. Generate app calls the resolve app method. Okay, so we have this generates the app. Generating the app resolves the app. Trying to think how to reproduce something like this. It feels tricky to do. So I say it feels tricky, but actually I think we could resolve it by having a singleton app. Well, at the moment we're doing this. So I wonder whether we could just refactor this somewhat, but I still need a way of reproducing. So update templates is being called. Where is it being called? When something changes, I guess. So the scenario is, I guess there's a module, and the module is calling, maybe we have a watcher. So hook builder watch, and we have our event path, and what we are doing in here is we are calling update templates, and then we're passing in some kind of filter, and we're updating everything. Okay, so if we did this, I wonder if that is going to cause a, hey, Crutch Corn, it is a pleasure to see you. for anyone who doesn't know, Crutchcorn is Corbin, who has actually just produced a very cool book. I think, right? What is the new book? Accessibility. The Art of Accessibility. Everybody needs to read this, probably straight away. Where is it? Cool. Check that out. And read it. Okay. Right, so what am I doing? This should... calling update templates. And we probably await it. Let's try it one more time. Oh, right, we have to trigger this by saving a file. So if I go into index.view and save it, that actually seemed fine. Sometimes you have to instantiate a Vite. Did I just maximize this thing? I think so. Okay, let's trigger a Vite update. Gov.uk is just great. And it's great also as a user to use it. I mean, it's very good. This is too old, but it's fine. Why are you doing anything with Vue 2? Is this a legacy project, Corbin? I'm guessing. Okay, Lucas. I wish. I knew how to reproduce this for testing. Still, I think I can probably solve it, but what we want to do is something like that is very problematic, Luke. That would be, yeah, that would be very problematic. Okay, so let's look at what our generate app is doing. Because I think the issue here is that you might have more of these things running at the same time than you're expecting. And that is what is causing the issue. So I think what we want to do is, this is resolving like everything. So what we instead, we have generate app. It's resolving it, which mutates it. We set the templates, normalize the templates, iterate over the templates. This is all fine. So it's resolve app, that's the thing that's causing the issue. So if one or more resolve apps is happening at the same time, then we have a problem. So I think what we want to do instead, because this is an async function, is keep this as a unity. Because we don't actually need this to be, yeah, I think so, right. So so what we're going to do is say, this might be as simple as this. So const app is app. That's not going to handle arrays. We basically need to deep merge this thing. Now the next app has got plugins. These all should be serializable pages. So I think we want to no, let's not do that. We'll just say what do we care about here? What are we going to set specifically? We are going to say yeah. Okay, no, I think we're not going to change this quite that much. No, we're not. Sorry, I just spotted what you. Basically, I just spotted what Anesh said. I think the main thing is that a lot of this needs to live outside the like it shouldn't be. So half of these things are fine. Like that's fine. This is fine. The issue is when we have these layouts, for example, or the middleware. What we want to do, I think, is keep them separate. because at this point we shouldn't be exposing them. So we want to do instead const layouts is like next app layouts, and then we set it here. Okay, we're going to drop all of our app layouts just to be layouts. And we are going to drop all of our app middleware just to be middleware. And we're going to do the same with plugins. Cool. And we'll need to make them a let. And do the same with our configs. I think at this point this is fine. So we can actually make them consts again. And what we'll do here is say object assign app. And then we have middleware plugins configs. We've got plugins, middleware, layouts. So we have layouts, middleware, plugins, configs, middleware, plugins, layouts. Okay, I think this might solve it. So I think, yeah, I think it should be good. These also should be done in parallel. So we have, because we have several awaits there. So looking through here, some of these things really do not need to be relative to each other. So we're resolving all the files. And the same is true of every config here. And here, so there's lots of async stuff happening. But that's a separate perf PR, and we should have a test. We should have a benchmark to check it. Maybe something that's worth doing next. But here we're going to say fix next. Do not expose middleware, layouts, plugins and configs. Do not expose app components to hooks until fully resolved. Okay. For this fix app resolution. And now I think we should be able to add a regression test looking at this specifically as the cause. So if we head into our, what would we do? This is this cat change, and this is a nuxt test. So we're going to add a, do we have an app? Yes. So we have a resolve app config here, and we're going to actually add a new one, which is describe, actually, I think we can just pop it up here. So we'll say it does not allow parallel access to app to freshly created app. Wait a second, let's just check nuxt apps default. So I think we might want to make that read only. No, that's fine. I don't seem to be pushing to it. Okay. Let's see if we can So the only tricky thing with regard to that, Robin, I'd love your thoughts on it, is almost all of those promise alls are related to file system access. So in some cases, now I did this actually at one point where I moved all of the writes into synchronous, like I moved them out of sequential, and it actually made performance worse because it meant that suddenly we were blocking the disk I/O. Which is interesting. So I mean, it's worth just a question over it. So promise all is absolutely worth it for stuff like network access, but like for disk access, promises are not necessarily the kind of things that you need to parallelize. But it's a tricky question. Okay, so what we want is. Now the tricky thing is this is actually probably more of a end-to-end test. I mean, this needs to have like a nuxt instance, right? I guess we can do that. Okay, so but it's probably a different describe block maybe. So we'll stick it. Oh no. It did have a nuxt instance here. So okay. So we're going to say we have all of these things. Okay, great. Oh, sorry, Robin. I just saw orbvx and thought it was Orbis. But yes, Inesh, Robin, important differences. Let's see, anyone commenting on? No. So we're creating the app, we're resolving the app. What are the things that we just did? We basically shouldn't have at any point empty arrays, for example. So, which I think would be an even greater issue. So if we had a sample of app dot plugins is that. So yeah, we probably couldn't reproduce that because it's not. Okay, maybe this is an example. So app configs, they're filled in asynchronously. What else is filled in asynchronously? Layouts. Okay, so resolve. So if we mock resolve files, well, it feels like a test here is not. So what happens? Does this all happen synchronously? So if we call resolve app, let's make a layout. So hey, Cedric. Interesting. Oh, we also need to create that. Yeah, it's going well. I always enjoy when I create a when I'm writing a test, right? It starts feeling nice. Okay, let's say we have resolved the app once. Now we want to see what happens when we resolve it again. Okay. So this is the problem, that we basically have, oh no. Oh, we probably need to write a next config file as well. Could that be the issue? Yes. Haha. Okay, exactly. So this is this is an example of the issue, that we have this incorrect. Now, really what I want is to write an assertion that at no point is it equal to this value. Could I do that? Could I basically say, probably a bad thing. Function at no point. And we have a callback which returns a Boolean, guess. And what we want is, and we also need a promise. And what we want to do is say promise, then finally resolved is true. So, and what we basically want to do is say we just actually are going to say this is always going to return void. We don't care about it. So, oh, thank you, Luke. Before I rewrite Vitas, well, let me write this, and then you tell me if there's a better solution, okay? So what we want to do is do while not resolved, okay? So what we're doing is we want to run callback, and then we await a new promise. Which should basically be instant, right? So we're just hitting the tick. So we want to do something like that. So at no point p, or maybe at every point. Do you see what I mean? So we want to say at every point, yeah. You're saying expect assertions. I think that is though, let's see what, we were expecting this to fail, right? So cool. So now we switch back to our branch. Yeah, okay. Yes, that's exactly what we're waiting for. Maybe does it exist? Maybe it does. Wait for. There may be a better way. If you can think of a better way, tell me. This is basically hopefully going to run almost at every tick. I mean, let's run these in parallel, okay? Because we should be encountering this because layouts just happen to be the first and easiest one to solve. But we also expect plugins shouldn't be an empty array. Now, were they another example of that? So we basically had layouts. Then we had middleware is also resolved asynchronously. So let's see, does that also... Oh, because it's going to fail everyone, so soft. No, that's just going to throw everyone. Let's just drop the first one and... Okay, so that is working. That is working, even though it's deeply in. So because it doesn't equal this here, right? So ooh, that seems flaky. Ponky, good to see you. That's definitely flaky. This is why we might need wait for. I'm doing a range of things, but right now what we're looking at is this manifest root rule middleware already exists, this thing. And actually that reminds me, I should be able to put this onto my stream overlay, and then it should actually give us a little highlight. Okay, but obviously it doesn't actually apply until we go on break. Wait until, like, we do want to have like a negative. A negative, that is what we want. The problem is it's very, how can we make it less flaky? Well, basically wait for is intended to be anti-flake, I guess. So it's intended to resolve to a stable situation. So you're right, maybe it would be flaky as well. Like, we're trying to detect that at no point does a flaky situation exist. So which is I think, doesn't mean the test is wrong, but it's just not always going to it is going to catch some of the time. It's just not always going to catch it. So which is problematic, right? So we can do it with the plugins too. Oh, I bet I know. No? Yes, Flo. This is so. Um, right. I mean, it is, yeah. The thing is, this is also, this would, oh, the issue might have been the fact that we were adding that previous expectation. No, it can't be. Can't be. Set timeout. Just drop that. Oh, we probably could even do it like this, just. Oh, it's, yeah. I think, well, it feels like this on its own would. That's tricky. How about simply. This is better, right? No, it's no different. Hmm. Ah. Well, what do you mean waiting for the test to time out? Because promise resolve resolves immediately. It's actually unclear to me why this is. So like it's not hitting that. It's like this. I feel this. I don't understand why this isn't working. Maybe like that is what should happen if it fails. So why is awaiting a new promise any different from awaiting a new promise with a timeout? The only thing I can think of is that maybe the compiler is optimizing this out. But await new promise resolve should also defer it to the next event frame, right? So if I have a file here and I do and I have another one and B is promise resolve. And I basically do then console log. And then I have one. And then I am going to need to have a 5-minute break and maybe a little bit longer, but I'll be back in a jiffy. I'm going to try that thing again, but it might just be very frustrating. Let's see if we can make it work. Be back soon. I think it's resetting itself every... Anyway, I'm just going to give it a try. Talk to you later. Okay, I am back. Okay. I think you're probably right, Luke. I cannot think that I have to do this. So manually. So what you're saying is assertions, but you just need to set not to be. Let's see. Sorry, I think you may have linked the wrong piece, Luke. Expect assertions. I don't see how this would solve the issue. But there is a different approach we could take, which is what we could do at this point is say, app new proxy. Like we could track what's done to it. No, I'm not wanting to check anything about. The point is, at some point, they will always end up in the correct state. The question is, I just want to make an assertion that at no point along the way are they set to an empty array. In other words, I don't want there to be a possibility of having the same having race conditions. I basically want it always in a final state. Do you understand what I'm saying? So the whole point of this at every point is that at every tick of the event loop, it needs to be correct. I'm not checking to see that an async callback is being fired. That's not what's happening. But I think I have a better solution anyway, which is I want to have a proxy and actually track the changes to this, right? So what I can do, I think, is I want to track sets. So yes. Oh, thank you, Aussie boy. Okay. So, and so what we really want to do is set Actually, I wonder if I can just do reflect outside. Will that work? Uh, let's just see what this does for us. Snapshot time, absolutely. So, the thing is, this is also including the entire object. I just want to care about, I only want to care about the, okay. I want to say it should not have been called with, middleware. Now reflect has a, what is it? Set is target P new value. So it would be app middleware empty string. That might pass. Expect array containing. Or maybe it should be app. Okay, we're just going to do. We're not going to do a vi function at all. We're just going to manually track this. So we want to say expect if P is middleware, expect P new value not to equal an empty array. Return reflect set. There we go. So like that is the effective thing that we're wanting to do. So does that work? Perfect. Because that is in fact what we want to. P is middleware, or P is plugins, or P is configs. And if P is layouts, expect new value not to equal an empty object. Okay, that seems to be a better solution to me than playing around with async stuff, just because of how the thing works. So that is, yeah, that's definitely failing. And now this should be passing. No! Oh no. Which one? Which one? Oh, it's the configs probably. Because they are empty, right? No. What could it be? Maybe it's middleware. Maybe there just are no middleware, but then why was it working before? Is this because it's the first one? Okay, let's just drop these out and console log our app. Oh no, expect app to match inline snapshot. I just want to see the final version of this thing. Okay, so we have configs, which is an empty array. That's fine. Layouts, middleware, plugins are not. So they should never be that. Oh, templates, I guess. Okay, so but configs is the thing. So we're not going to pay attention to that. This should work. This should so okay, it's middleware. Oh, that might be because middleware is empty until we add all of our next middleware. Yeah, that's true because we haven't created. In fact, we should just create a middleware and plugins as well. Okay, middleware, plugins, and just add some. Okay, so that's fine. And actually, we've just revealed how flaky the last one was. So great. And if we switch back to the main, it fails. And specifically, it probably fails, I hope, with all of them. Yeah, cool. Good. So that is what we wanted. And this is a beta test. It should always track it. Delete this and great. Beautiful. So publish that and I think it should resolve it. Hey, Pablo, nice to see you. Actually, the contrast is very bad on my monitor, so I misread anybody's name. I mixed up Inesh and Robin earlier because they both have a username that starts Orbi. Okay, this should resolve if accessed after the resolved hook, but I think that should not occur. Hey, good to see you. Cool. This would be a very nice solution if it works. Can't believe this is still... Oh, it's running because we had to update the branch. A few more PRs we can go ahead and merge. A headache with screen glare, possibly. We'll see. Excellent, so that looks like it's passing. Good. Merging too much at the same time. Nope, this isn't Arc. This is Zen. But I've made it look very Arc-y, it's true. Arc is just beautiful. It's just a shame that it's not being maintained anymore. Or I would still be using it. Okay. I couldn't make the Vivaldi look the way I wanted it to. I tried deeply, but... Okay. Okay. Multi-app. Hello. You were able to reduce what? Okay, I will check it out. Oops, not that one. I do maintain Nuxt, but I didn't create it originally. Nuxt was created by Sebastian and Alexander Chopin. Yeah, absolutely. Well, do you know, I actually conveniently have this Vercel water bottle, which I have had for a very long time, and you don't get when you become an employee of Vercel. And it is my favorite water bottle, so. Okay. What did Anesh open? There we go. So you're saying this is a WASM bug. So this is probably... No, like I got that a long time ago. I don't know if they even do them anymore. Okay, so let's see. Why is it put as WASM though? That was the repo name is put down as WASO. Okay. We are going to see if we can reproduce this. So this is almost certainly Nitro rather than Nuxt. Because even though it is, as in that's where it's probably located, because this dev file is generated by Nitro and by rollup. I can't even install it. What version of Node are you on? 22.11. Okay. Okay. So we're going to run this Prisma generate command. Okay, and now what do I do? npm dev. Okay. Let's see if we can, and so I guess you're saying that there is this, cannot find that module, and it's looking for Prisma generated. So oh, I see what you mean about the WASM. So okay, so this is coming from I think I have to oh, it's coming from here. Yeah, presumably the resolved value of this path is coming into node modules Prisma like that. So Prisma generated here. The question, I guess, is what if it's used in node modules. This is, by the way, almost certainly a Prisma thing, rather than like Prisma are trying, I think, to have like a generated piece of their code be dependent on within node modules, right? So I think probably. So let's see if I can. Oh, it will be difficult to see because it's all minified and WASMified. But what I would start out with is okay, so maybe then I should be starting from another point of view. Where are you importing from it? So this is a purely, probably a purely Nitro thing, I wonder. Have you tried, let's see. I wonder if this works. Let's see. Nope. Okay, let's see if we can reproduce this with Nitro on its Oh, no. Nitro on its own. Okay. So what we have here is, oh, come on. Right. We have server roots, and we're going to put this as that. And we're going to create a libprisma.ts file, I guess. We're going to copy that, pop it in there. And we are going to install some dependencies. In they go. And we need a schema.prisma. Oops. Okay, and we run, what was the command? Oh, did I remove nitro? That would definitely cause a problem. Let's add that back in. Reinstall it. Oops. See you later. Okay. What was the command that? Well, that's a pain. PNP generate is the thing that's not working though. This isn't DB push that's failing. What we can maybe do is try manually copying this stuff across. I'm sure I used to be able to do that. Maybe let's see. Open this in Finder and copy it across from there. Let's see. Do I hear my Ned? Ugh. What am I doing? Come on.
Daddy?
Yes.
Is it okay if I want Gabby's house?
I see.
Isn't it?
I see that might be a problem, but I think we could make something like that happen. Would you give me 5 minutes, then we'll set it up?
Okay.
5 minutes? I'll finish the stream, and then you can come. The TV is in here at the moment, while the house is in progress. And so for Ned to watch TV, I have to be... well, you have to be able to watch TV as well in the background. Okay, let's see if this will reproduce the bug, right? Well, the answer is this just does not work in StackBlitz at all. So let's see if we can reproduce it locally. And then, yes, we will need to finish. So let's see if I can go here and PMPMI and Prisma. That's an old pipe. I found it on the landing and I put it here for safekeeping.
For me?
You can play with it if you want, just be careful. Oh, there's Maps kit somewhere here. Okay. Let's delete that. Run this.
Wonderful.
And let's run the dev server and see if it works. I feel like I've got this stream is ending. Okay. So Inesh, this is reproducible in pure Nitro. So let's just drop all of this out and say let's add a getignore file. We are going to add to this .nitro, node modules, and Prisma generated, I guess. DevDB. Cool. Come on. Yeah. Sure. And we're just going to create a new Nitro issue. Well, it looks like there might already be one. I think this might be the same issue. Let's track that here. If that isn't the same issue, Inesh, do follow up. But hopefully the Git repo is helpful. I suspect it's not. There's nothing to do with Nuxt, obviously. It might even not be anything to do with Nitro. It might be something to do with Rollup and how Rollup resolves Prisma, for example. But anyway, there is lots more I wish we could have touched on today. But thank you for joining me. It's, as always, a lot of fun. And yes, now that I'm in place, even though there are stuff in progress, I'm looking forward to getting back into streaming. So keep pestering me. And we'll carry on. I am going to see if there's anyone we want to raid. So let's just have a quick check. Yes, Hacknug. You have to remember, you have to feel the guilt, right? Feel the guilt. Oh, we always like, there's one viewer. So should we all go and join Nick? I think that would be fun. Let's go for it. Hey Louis, I'm afraid we're all going. So it's right at the end, but thank you for joining. Yeah, hopefully another time would be good. So see you all later. Bye.